Good morning, everyone. I'm back, Katie. So, a couple of things which I've said in my previous classes, but if you haven't joined, if you would like any blankets for some knee support or some support for your tush, or just as a place to fill up space in any gaps that you might have, you could always grab that. If you have blocks available, awesome. No blocks, you can always offer yourself some larger books. And you don't need anything at all, it's up to you. Straps are always an option as well, but if you don't have straps, which I don't think a lot of us do, you could always take a tie or a scarf. Once again, these are just options, suggestions that if you would like them. I'm going to practice today with no props. And yeah, so I'm going to play some light music in the background. You may or may not be able to hear it because I want you to hear my voice. So if you have a separate device and want to play on some calming music, whether it's instrumental, I usually play Peaceful Retreat on Spotify. It's under a spa and meditation playlist. But anything that you find peace and calming, and maybe it's some Bill Withers, maybe it's some John Prine, just lost their beautiful souls. So whatever it may be. So this morning we're going to start in a child's pose. I will be pulling myself out once again so you could hear me talk. But in a child's pose, you come to all fours first. Most of you already know how to get here. You could separate the knees facing towards the corners of your mat. Great toes come together. You could always keep your knees together. Separating the knees will stretch more through the hips. Keeping the knees together will stretch more through the spine. So, wherever you'd like it to be, dropping those hips towards your heels and releasing your hands out in front so that your forehead can fall forward. And now in your child's pose, your hips may not drop towards your heels. This is a space, a gap that we were just talking about. If you want to fill that gap with a blanket or a block, you could always do that. And just take a couple of nice cleansing breaths here. On your inhale, really feeling your belly fall in between your thighs or onto your thighs. And on the exhale, releasing all of that air till your navel draws up and in. Your hips maybe even drop back the slightest bit more. Big belly inhales and exhales. And I'm practicing breathing in and out through my nose, but if you prefer to breathe out through your mouth, that is always an option as well. And as you're settling in here to your child's pose, notice if there's any place that you may be holding on to tension. Releasing those shoulders away from the ears. Your forehead is gently resting upon the mat. Your jaw is soft. And your belly is filling in and releasing out of breath. Connecting to our physical self here. Noticing any chatter within the mind. On your next exhale, imagine it being blown away in the wind. So with each inhale, your breath is coming in and it's attaching to any negative energy, any chatter. Imagine it attaching like Tetris blocks. And on the exhale, breathe it all away. Little by little, we breathe away that chatter, we breathe away that stress, we breathe away that tension. Slowly allowing ourselves to be here in the moment, connected to our practice, connected to our presence. And as we start to bring more attention to our breath, not only fill in through that belly, so you feel that belly once again either falling into the thighs or between the thighs, but also feel your entire back filling up as well. Your lower back, your mid back, and your upper back. Taking in as much breath as you can in the space you are given. Filling up completely. And releasing. And now inhale at center. Exhale, start to walk your hands and your upper body towards the right, keeping your lower body where it is. So we can either have the left walk towards the right or maybe even placing it on top. Forehead still releases towards the floor. So that attention now is in the left side body, through that left hip, in through those ribs, shoulder, all the way out of the fingertips. Remember to stay soft in the face as you're stretching. On your next inhale, allow yourself to come through center and walk your hands towards the left, just like we did on the right, but now to the other side. Inhale, come back through center. Stay here just for a few breaths longer. Inhale, come up to a table. So we're going to lift the hips. Hips now are upon those knees, shoulders on top of those wrists. Flowing through a couple of cow and cats here. So on the inhale, let that belly fall. Shoulders drop, gaze starts to lift. Exhale, round your spine, tuck the hips, turn the gaze. Inhale, belly falls. Exhale, round. So continue your cow and cat at your own pace, matching your breath to your movement. Adding in any extra movement that the body might like and might need. So maybe some swaying of the hips, some circling, some spiraling. Close the eyes and just get that deeper connection to the body. I really love when I'm personally practicing just to allow the body to move in whatever way it wants. So there's no rhyme or reason to the practice. I don't know what's next to come. I just let meditation and motion happen. During my yoga graduation weekend, that was actually one thing that we did. Everyone had their own group, and one at a time, someone would sit on the blanket in the center, close their eyes, and go into a meditation for a few moments. And then all of a sudden, their body would just take over and we would just move. And the other people would get to witness the beauty of the movement of the body and the stillness in the mind. It was a really incredible thing to witness. On your next inhale, come to a table. Extend the right toes straight back behind you to hip height, so we're not opening up, we're keeping it in line with the hip. Left arm comes out by the left ear. You're reaching long in both directions, so we're not letting that belly fall. You're nice and strong here. Pausing here, or elbow and knee bend to knee underneath, rounding that spine. Inhale out. Exhale, round. Inhale out. Exhale, round. Once more, inhale out. Drop your left hand down, keep the right toes lifted. Core as strong as you draw that knee in, round the spine. Plant your right foot down in between your hands. Right knee stacks upon that right ankle. Take one hand to your thigh and then the other, so you're lifting up here. Breathing into that right hip flexor, core is strong. You may need to pull out slightly, and that's fine. Inhale, sweep the arms up, shoulders are down. Inhale, bring the left hand forward, the right hand back. So now this may be a little bit trying on your knee, so if you want that blanket under it, you can take one here now. So we're twisting through that spine. Gaze maybe looks over the right fingers, maybe it looks to the side of the room. Breathing. Some deep inhales, deep exhales. Maybe playing with your balance a little. You could stay here. That right hand can drop towards the left leg, left fingers up to the sky. And it may come just to your glute, your lower back, your hamstring, or your calf. Depends on where your back is right now. Inhale. Exhale, float both hands around. Counter stretch, let's straighten that front leg. Just for a breath or two, right hip is pulling back, left hip pulls forward. Pausing with as much of a flat back as you can. We're not folding today. Inhale, come forward, knee bends, plant the hands, curl the toes. Send the right foot back, lift the hips, find a down dog. Feel free to pedal out your feet here, bend one knee and then the other, noticing a difference from right to left. Dropping your knees down, let's find ourselves back into that table. Make any adjustments. All 10 toenails are down, all 10 fingertips are down. Extend the left toes straight out. Core is strong. Right arm out by the right ear. Inhale, elbow, knee bend to meet underneath. Exhale out. Inhale, bend and meet. Exhale out. Once more, inhale. Exhale. Drop that right hand down, left toe is lifted. Draw the knee in towards your chest, round that spine. Plant that left foot down. Inhale, place one hand to your thigh and then the other. So once again, we're not just sinking in. We want that deep hip flexor stretch. We want to work into it with our breath. Keeping your hands towards your thigh, or you could lift the hands up to the sky. We're taking that twist, so right hand comes forward, left hand back. Shoulders stay down. You may feel a nice stretch through that back shoulder as we open up too. Remember to breathe. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Staying here, or you could drop that left hand towards the right leg, right fingers up top, wherever that left hand wants to go. Not just forcing it down to that right leg. It maybe stays on the lower back, always honoring ourselves, honoring our body. Inhale, float both hands around. Let's straighten that front leg. Hips go back, straighten it just as much as possible. So early in the morning, my legs don't really straighten. Pulling that left hip back, right hip forward. Staying long through the crown to start. Bend that front knee, curl your back toes, lift the back knee, step the back foot up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Lost my head. Inhale, the hands up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Staying here just for a breath. There. Connecting to the breath, connecting to the body. Just coming here to this moment. Let's take the hands. Inhale up. This time, exhale. Sweep the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers. So drop your shoulders, open up your heart, turn the gaze slightly up. Soften those knees as you take a big hinge forward, hands up to the sky. Let your head just fall. And if this ever gets to be too much, you can release your hands down to the earth. If you prefer a more straight knee, that's great. Whatever is best for you in your practice. Feel free to gently shake your head. Slowly release your hands down by your feet, straightening just a little bit more so we can pedal out our feet here in a standing fold. Lifting one heel while dropping the other. Slowly plant your hands down and send the feet back. Holding yourself in a plank here, hands right under those shoulders. Your hips can be lifted up a little bit, but we want to keep a flat back from ground all the way to our heels. Creases of the elbows face the top of the mat. Breathing. Feel your core engage. Now drop your knees, releasing to the tops of your feet. Hug the elbows by your side, lower all the way down. So today we're going to come into a Sphinx. So dropping your forearms down. You want your shoulder in line with your elbow. Both hands come down. Your fingers are spread nice and wide. So let your head drop here. My shoulder blades are pulling together because I'm allowing myself to just fall here. On the inhale, press into those palms. Shoulders drop. You find length through your crown. Another inhale. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lift up, come to your Sphinx. And in your Sphinx, turn your head to the right. Inhale, come through center, drop it down. Once more, inhale, rise. Exhale, turn your gaze over that left shoulder. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, soften. Take your hands under your shoulders, press yourself up, curl the toes, down dog. Making any adjustments to your down dog that you may need. Fingers are still spread nice and wide, hips up as high as you can to the sky, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, look in between your hands. Exhale, send the right foot forward. Drop the left heel down, toes will turn in. We're going to float up to a couple of warrior ones. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, hands come down. Popping up onto your back toes, right foot goes back, come into your down dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, left foot comes up. Drop the right heel down, toes turn in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands come down, popping up onto those back toes. Left foot goes back, down dog. Rock yourself forward, high plank, knees up or down here as you lower all the way to the earth, releasing to the tops of your feet. Elbows squeeze in, shoulders drop down. Inhale, baby cobra. Stay long through your crown. Exhale down. Inhale, baby cobra or cobra. Exhale down. Inhale through a table. Exhale, down dog. Inhale the right toes to the sky. Exhale, rock forward, knee in towards your chest. Look in between your hands, plant that right foot down. Back heel drops, toes turn in. Inhale, lift up, warrior one. Shoulders are down. So don't just let your belly fall here. We want to keep the hips tucked under. And it's okay if you have a shorter stance or you don't drop down as far as you would in warrior two. That back leg with the twist sometimes makes it a little difficult. Inhale, sweep the hands behind the back. We're going to come to a humble warrior. So drop those hands, lift your gaze toward the ceiling and the wall meet. Shoulders are down away from the ears. Another inhale here. Exhale, slowly start to let your gaze float down the wall as you hinge forward. Right shoulder comes to the inside of that right thigh. Hands can lift to the sky, and your gaze maybe turns under the right thigh. Just imagine yourself bowing to the divine here, releasing all tension, finding humility. Slowly drop your hands towards your lower back, engage your core as you pick yourself all the way up, hands float. Exhale, hands come down, popping up onto your back toes. Right foot goes back to meet the left, and we're going to work through a vinyasa, so lowering all the way or halfway for a chaturanga. Now in a chaturanga, your knees could be down, coming halfway. On the inhale, cobra or up dog, everything's off the ground but the tops of your feet and your palms. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, the left toes to the sky. Exhale, rock forward, look in between the hands, plant the left foot down. Right heel drops, toes turn in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lift. So we're in that warrior one on this side. Feel free to take a shorter stance. Core is strong. Back leg has that twist. Shoulders drop. We always want to find space for our energy to flow. Connect to your breath. Find those belly breaths. Float the hands down. Behind your back, interlace those fingers. Drop your hands down, shoulders drop. Inhale, turn your gaze up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Get that little arch to your back. Exhale, letting the gaze float down the wall as you hinge forward. Left shoulder to the inside of your left thigh. Gaze floats under, hands lift up. Are you breathing? You are now that I mentioned it. Our breath is our life force. We need our breath to get us through things. So let's drop our hands to our lower back, engage the core, peel that chest up. Hands rise, inhale. Exhale, hands come down, pop up onto your back toes. Left foot goes back. Make your way through a vinyasa. Meeting in your down dog. Drop your knees, releasing to the tops of your feet. Hips back towards the heels, forehead to the floor. So we're in a child's pose once again. You could separate those knees once more if you'd like. And let's return to the breath. Letting go of anything that just happened. Allow yourself to return to this moment on your mat. Big inhales, big exhales. Letting the entire body fill with breath. Start to lift yourself up. Bring your knees together. Inhale, sweep wide. Exhale, bring the hands down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Plant your hands, curl your toes under. Find yourself in a fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Slowly start to rise all the way up, one vertebrae at a time. And we're going to float our way into a tree today as our balancing posture. So you can be on your mat, you can get off of your mat, planting that right foot down. Root down into the earth. Feel those roots, gaining all of Earth's nutrients. Left foot comes to its working place. So we have toes down, heel to ankle. We have foot to calf. We have foot to inner thigh. When we're in the inner thigh, I like to bring my heel forward, toes back, and keep my knees open. Or you can come to your hip crease where your toes come up, your knees come down. So before we find that, we must find our drishti. Our drishti is our focal point, something a foot or two in front of us that's not moving. So don't look at me. And then find that working place of your foot. Hands come to the heart to begin. So here, try to watch any arching of your back, hips tuck under. Hips are open. If it's in your practice to let your branches grow, you could always extend the arms up. You may sway like a tree does in the wind. So if your shoulders are crowding, try and drop them. Maybe you dance with it. Maybe you have a little bit more fun than you normally would in class. That is a benefit of being at home. I feel like there's a lot less judgment on ourselves in our home practice. We're more apt to try things. So as much as we'd like to be together in class, there are some good benefits of these videos and our home practice. Inhale, bring the hands back together. Lower them to your heart. Slowly pick that left knee up to hip height. Flex that foot. If it's accessible to, straighten that leg and slowly lower it down. Give yourself a good little wiggle. Working to the other side, find your drishti, that focal point. Left foot grounds down. Right foot comes to its working place, toes down, heel to ankle. Calf, inner thigh, or hip crease, and it may be different than the other side, so always honor and respect the differences from right to left. Making our hands to heart center when we're ready. Feeling the opening in that hip. Letting those branches grow at any point. As always, only if it's in your practice. Utilizing walls, bureaus, any space around you to assist with balance that you may need. Remember to breathe. Inhale, take the hands back to the heart. Picking up that right knee to hip height, flex that foot. Extending that right leg and lowering it down. Give yourself a good little wiggle from side to side. Inhale, come to the top of your mat, sweep wide. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, send the feet back. Lowering all the way to the ground. Take your arms out to a T. And you could place your forehead to the ground, but you may find that you want your head in a different direction. Let me take off my glasses just for a moment. So, finding your arms out to a T. Bend the left knee, toes are pointed. Now just start to lift that left thigh off the ground. And drop it down, releasing that leg down. Bend the right. Lift the right thigh up. Lower it down. So now, with the left, bend that knee, lift the thigh up off the ground. So we're going to take a big twist here. I'm going to keep my head this way, so it may look a little creepy, so I apologize. We're going to twist and try and drop the left toe down. So your left shoulder may pop up, and that's okay. But try and keep it as connected as possible, even if you have to keep your leg a little bit lower. And this may bother your neck, so you may want to turn it in the opposite direction. Coming up through center, drop that left foot down. Bend the right knee. Lift that right thigh. Start to twist it over, touching your right toe to the ground. Your right shoulder tries to stay connected. Coming up and down. Take your hands under your shoulders, press up and back for your final child's pose. Start to lift your torso up, sitting back upon your heels, send your weight around. Scoot yourself to the center of your mat. Knees are planted, feet are flat. You could walk yourself down your thighs, or you could have the arms extended as you roll down one vertebrae at a time. And now, once you lie upon your back, draw those knees in, gently rocking side to side. Just massaging out that lower back. Maybe you make some circles with those knees. reversing direction of those circles. Plant the feet down. Palms come down by your side. Inhale. Exhale, lift those hips up. Find yourself into a bridge. Noticing any tension upon the body. Shoulders drop away from the ears. You can appreciate your belly breath here, the rise and fall of your inhales and your exhales. Coming up onto your tiptoes, roll down one vertebrae at a time. So I am going to show you how to get into a half shoulder stand today. So you can come into another bridge or take some supports, but we are going to practice them today. So we're going to start off with some spinal rocks. So just to get a little momentum to get ourselves up. So you're going to take your hands around your knees and you're going to rock in and rock up. So just starting to massage that back as you rock. And then the next time we're back, we're going to shoot our hips up to the sky. Extend your legs, hands come to your lower back. So that momentum just helps get the arms up. Now walk your elbows in and your hands down. So your hands are used for support. Your hips are sitting upon your hands. If you feel any strain in your neck, you can release out. Toes are pointed. You could make some ankle circles here. You could make some splits. Enjoying getting a new perspective on things. Slowly begin to draw the knees in towards the forehead. This is your candle, toes are pointed. Hands come back down to the mat. Finding a plow, feet come behind the head. Slowly start to roll down one vertebrae at a time. Everything is controlled. So using your hands, using your core strength. Slowly begin to drop your feet down. Extend your legs completely out. Walk your hands under your hips. Elbows walk in. For finishing off, we're going to do a fish face. So feet are together, toes are pointed. Bend your elbows, press into your forearms, lift your chest up, and drop the crown of your head down. So your heart is open, your mouth may fall open. Feeling your heart open. Press into your forearms, lift your chest up, and roll yourself down. Bend your knees, draw one knee in and then the other, gently rocking side to side once more. Inhale, bring the forehead up to meet the knees. On the exhale, release one leg out and then the other, getting yourself ready for Shavasana. So if you want to put on any extra layers, you can. Socks, sweaters, blankets. So those legs have extended out of the hips. Feet are splaying open. There's no tension here. Arms walk out, palms face up, shoulders drop down. Noticing how your toes are soft. You need to wiggle them a little, feel free. Your glutes and your hips relax to let those legs splay out. Arms down and away. Your heart is open. Your shoulders are releasing back and down into the mat. There's no tension in the jaw. Your eyelids are relaxed. And releasing through your third eye, softening through that brow. Once you do, feel your entire face and scalp release along with it. And allow yourself just to melt here into your mat, into the moment for a little bit longer. Continue to find comfort in the stillness. Find comfort in the silence. Find comfort within yourself. Deepening your breath and coming back to the present. Wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, rolling wrists and ankles. Maybe a gentle rock of your head from side to side as you awaken back up. And now slowly begin to roll your way to your right side, like you're rolling over in bed, using one arm as a pillow and placing the other hand over your heart, pausing here. The answer you are looking for may be right before your eyes. Have you asked the question? Have you put it out to God, the universe, yourself, and the world? What do I need now? What do I need to do next? Where and why am I stuck? What am I not seeing? What's the answer? I need a clue. Often, asking the question means the answer is trying to find you. Follow your heart, then open your eyes and you'll see it. The answer may be right in front of you. Slowly begin to come to your last seated position. Placing hands to heart center with a gentle bow to your head. Taking a moment here to say something nice to yourself. Take another moment and show gratitude to all those practicing with you today. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Connecting at the palms, lower your hands down to the heart, praying to always love compassionately. Bring the thumbs to the lips, Praying to always speak truthfully. Finishing off with our thumbs to the third eye. Praying to always see clearly. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. As always, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Every day that you have been, stay well, stay safe, and I'll be thinking of you.